Football is a violent game played by gladiators on a frozen tundra. Welcome to the Red Zone Challenge Expert Picks, brought to you by Firestone Walker Brewing Company, featuring so-called experts Jeff Kingman.
For the second week in a row, you're asking the question, should I really watch this Thursday night game?
Jeremy West.
I have never picked against the Seahawks. You did once and it bit you in the ass.
And Allie, the full-time Firestone Walker beer guy. Part-time degenerate gambler.
This is one of those ones I'm like, do I really need to watch football on Thursday night, or should I stay good on my wife's list here?
Who will experience 80 ounces in hell?
In hell.
Find out with this week's picks in the Red Zone Challenge, presented by Firestone Walker Brewing Company in Paso Robles. Oh, man! Give me a drink!
I can't believe we have somebody that's 10 games over 500 in this thing.
Believe it, baby. It's happening. This is reality.
Especially like when I look at the turd of games that we've got to pick from today. I mean, like this week in the National Football League is the least entertaining of the year for sure. I mean, there are a ton of double-digit spreads. A ton of double-digit spreads this week in the National Football. And this is when it's supposed to get exciting, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty
Not this year.
Pretty boring, another boring week. We got Ollie from Firestone Walker join us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good. Jeff and Jeremy here as well. This is where it sits, boys. I am out in front with the 10-point lead, or 10 games over 500.
It's crazy.
And that's 40 and 30. Ollie is at 33 and 37, just hanging on to that 1 point lead over Jeff, who's at 32 and 38.
I'm hoping that this week being in the Master Deflators Fantasy Football Championship will give me an inside edge on this, as I am paying more attention to rosters than I have ever paid attention to before, especially because I'm the underdog in our championship matchup.
Did you want to announce that you're in the championship game? Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
Jeremy, what
I'm
place
impressed.
place are you playing for?
I'm playing for 7th.
7th place.
Yeah,
Nice.
7th. Right in the middle. right in the middle.
It's a good one.
A little below 500, actually, to be honest with you. All right.
So, can
Go
I
ahead.
ask you guys a question here
Yeah.
too? So, is your team Seattle here? So they're playing. They're still playing for their spot, right?
So this is what happens.
I don't know what they're playing
They have
for.
to beat
Maybe
Dallas.
respect.
So Dallas is still in contention. Seattle's still in contention. And I believe that's about it in the National Football League. Or in Atlanta, but Atlanta's in the spot.
Atlanta's right,
But they're not in. If Atlanta loses their next two, which is against Carolina and New Orleans and Carolina in that order, which is highly possible that they lose those two, then the Seahawks or the Cowboys win out. Then the Seahawks or the Cowboys will get that last spot, and the Falcons will not make the playoffs if they lose their last two. So
Gotcha.
There's a chance. And it's not that bad of a chance because there's something in there, too, with Carolina. If Carolina or Atlanta loses their next two, then the Cowboys and the Seahawks, whoever wins the matchup this week, will have a chance. And Carolina and Atlanta face each other, so only one of them can win unless they tie, which in that case, they both would go in. So they could collude to play to a tie in Week 17 with their scrubs. And then everybody could get in and make the NFC South look really good. But let's hope that doesn't happen in the National Football League.
All right, last week, Ollie and Jeff, you both went 3-2, but Jeff had the big 5-0 week for the week before, so he will pick ahead of you, and I went 4-1,
right.
so I will have to pick first this week, all right?
Nice. I like that.
All right, here we go.
I'm feeling good.
You like this, huh? We'll start off with Denver traveling to Washington. The Redskins at home, a 3.5-point favorite. This is a turd, but I think I like the Redskins in this one, and I just think they're a little bit of a better bad team. Vegas likes them, and I'm going to go with Vegas on this one. And the home team, I'll take the Washington Redskins.
Denver looked Looked good last week. The reason why they looked good last week was
Playing
C.J.
Indy.
Anderson. Yeah, exactly. Brock Osweiler. They're playing Indianapolis. It's easy to look good against Indianapolis. Kirk Cousins still playing for some kind of contract hopes and wants to look good for either the Washington Redskins or another team that will have him. Therefore, I believe he will bring his heart and soul to this game, something I'd question for most of the season with Denver, that being the heart and soul part. I'm going to go with the Washington Redskins.
So I went and saw the new Star Wars movie that night, and literally when I left, they were up. Indy was up 10-0. I was like, "Oh, okay, this looks pretty good."
Got this.
And I was like, "I got this." And then I saw whatchamacallem, the quarterback, go out on Denver, and I saw Brock, warming up on the side. I was like, okay, well, this is interesting. And then I got out of the theater, and I saw it was like 30-10. I was like, what the hell just happened here? Brock Osweiler won the game for him. I'm also going to take Washington.
What's funny about this is Brock Osweiler came in, did a good job, and Paxton Lynch is probably going to get the start this week because that sucks for Brock. I feel bad for the guy.
Next up, the Giants traveling to Arizona, to the desert, to take on the Arizona Cardinals. 3.5-point favorites at home over the Giants. Another turd game. You got two teams who are both coming off losses. Both have had very bad seasons. But I don't know what's going on in New York. It's just such a mess there. I have no confidence in anything that they can do, especially when they have to travel across the country. So I'll go with the Arizona Cardinals in this one.
This is my game that I have to take a chance. And I got to go against these widespreads that we're picking on this week. And I know Ali's going to play defense with my pick, but I hope he doesn't do that. Weirdly enough, the Giants are this weird, they beat Kansas City this year. They seem to be playing more inspired ball, and they almost beat the Philadelphia Eagles last week. Now, granted, that's without Carson Wentz, but they had that game in hand, and then Philadelphia figured out a way to win. Arizona's a little banged up on both defense and offense, and they have yet another switch at quarterback this week. I'm going to go with the New York Giants in the possible upset on this one.
Wow. You're right. I'm gonna take defense on this. I'm going with the Giants then too. There's no reason. There's no reason to take them other than it's too close. I don't want my 40 ounces to freedom here riding on this game.
Oh, it's so funny. Let's see how you sit on the next one. Are you going to stick with Jimmy G and the San Francisco 49ers, Ollie? Only time will tell as the 4-point favorite Jacksonville Jaguars travel to take on the 49ers at Levi's Stadium up in Santa Clara. This is an easy one, Jacksonville.
I'm going to go with you on that one. To me, it provides no explanation, but except for Vegas has got some kind of thing for the new hotness that is Jimmy G.
What about the playoffs and resting players? These guys are in. They don't have to.
Yeah, they're in as a 3 seed. If they want that bye, they have to win games, which means this week, if you talk about like fantasy, you start your Jags. You jag off.
No, I just call it a sweep here. I'm not taking Jimmy G on this one.
Yeah.
I had to look at that myself too because I was wondering what Jacksonville was playing for, but he's right. It's for the bye. They got to be playing.
That Jacksonville defense is fun to watch, man.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because that was the joke in the NFL for the several years, several seasons. Even last season, they got a little bit better last season.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, this one's interesting. Only maybe for Jeff and I. Seattle, after getting, I think their asses are still on fire. Travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Cowboys favored by 5. Apparently, Vegas is drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm telling you, I think the Rams might be the best team in football, but I got to go with my Hawks. I never go against my Hawks. I have no good reasons.
How did the best team in football get beat by the Philadelphia Eagles then, if that's the case, at home, if the Rams were the best team in football? Robert Woods, is that much of a difference? to that offense?
I don't
Because that's
know.
the only piece they got back.
They were ready for that game in Seattle. They were obviously much more ready.
Maybe
than
your
the
Seattle Seahawks and my Seattle Seahawks are just a little.
And they never let the foot off the pedal in that game either. I mean, they had chances. They could have just let Seattle do something, and they said no. Even with this lead, we're just gonna destroy the Seahawks.
And they
So,
did. They did destroy the Seahawks.
It looked like they all went out drinking the night before, and they were hungover. Maybe had too many Firestones.
Funny enough, as a side note, Jason Garrett has been kind of. I don't know if this is gamesmanship or whatever the case is, but he's been talking about Zeke this week, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna figure out a way to work him back into the game plan," as if they're still gonna roll with Alfred Morris. I don't think anybody's buying that.
Nobody's
I don't
drinking
think
that
anybody's
Kool-Aid.
buying that.
Yeah, nobody's doing that.
I need wins. So that's why.
What happened last time you went against the Seahawks? They won.
Can I tell you this? This is what's weird.
That
okay?
was the beginning
I
of
know
my runaway.
I know we talked about it at the beginning of this podcast before we even got to the picks. Somehow, the Seattle Seahawks are weirdly lucky. Okay? They do not deserve to be in the playoffs after what happened last week, but I feel like they are going to be that team that sneaks into the playoffs over the Dallas
They're
Cowboys.
not going to take a third loss. They're not going to lose 3 in a row.
Yes.
I don't see that happening.
And that's why I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks.
It's December. Russell's going to be amazing. I could be wrong because I said all this stuff last week, and we both did. Because we were drinking the Seahawks Kool-Aid, the 12-man Kool-Aid.
All three of us took the Seahawks last week.
And we really thought they were going to play it for that game, and I was like,
but
what
the
the hell am I
Seahawks
watching?
tend to do better when they're an underdog.
All right. Ollie, what do you think?
I'm not even playing defense on this. I was going to go with Seattle also, just because I thought
So you're making-
I agree with you guys. I think I personally think Seattle isn't going to lose 3 in a row. I think they're coached better. I think Garrett's not very good, even winning the Coach of the Year last year.
Yeah, let's
God,
not
is he terrible.
Let's not forget what happened on Monday night in Oakland. Okay, that game was gifted to them. They said Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
Derek Carr said, "Here you go. I'm just going to throw this through the end of the end zone, and here's the win, Dallas Cowboys." That game was gifted to them on many levels. Okay, so Dallas is not a great team by any stretch. Now they do get Zeke back, and he might be out to prove something, but we'll see what happens there. So, anyways, okay. I actually had you penciled in on the official form as a Dallas pick. I got to go back and change that.
All right, final matchup of the 5 games brought to us by the MGM Sportsbook in Las Vegas. Detroit, a 5.5-point favorite on the road in Cincinnati. I mean, Cincinnati has lost its last 3. The last 2 games, they've only been able to put up 7 points of offense in each game. Detroit, on the other hand, has won their last 2 games and has looked a lot better. I think Cincinnati's dealing with a lot of injuries, and I think this one's pretty obvious. I think it's Detroit.
I'm looking at the picks. I got to go bold. I'm going to go Cincinnati. But Cincinnati's at home, right?
Yes.
Detroit's got something to play for. Cincinnati got nothing to play for. This is just got a weird.
All right, Ollie, there you go.
Yeah, you could go up 2, or you could play defense and.
I'm not playing defense on this. I'm definitely taking Detroit.
Okay.
Cincinnati, they quit. They're done.
It's a dumpster
They're-
fire.
You
their
really want
coach
to
is
pick
done.
Cincinnati?
I'm going with the Bengals.
Okay.
I'm going with the Bengals.
I like it. I like it. That's all the rest of my 40 ounces of freedom on. So,
All right, what else do we need to know? I mean, listen, we talked to Joel the other day, and the 12 Days of Christmas. We're giving away 10 VIP brewery tours, and it comes with a tasting. But you guys do that for the holidays. You can go by the Emporium. Jeff and I were very nice. They gifted us, so thank you from everybody at Firestone, a couple of these Patagonia flannel shirts.
Patagucci.
oh yeah,
Patagucci.
Patagucci.
Lots of stuff that you can get for gifts for the holidays, all right? Right, Ollie?
Yeah, there's a lot of great merchandise. There's a ton of 805 gear up here too right now. Man, we even got we got so much stuff. We got wrapping paper this year. It's been my favorite item that we brought in. We got 805 wrapping paper. We got Firestone wrapping paper. So come on up to the Brewing Emporium if you guys want to buy any gifts for the holidays. We got all the Barrel Works beers. We got all of our barrel aged beers, and all our normal stuff on in bottle, in can, and also on tap if you guys want to get some crowlers for some folks around Christmas dinners. So, yeah, I highly recommend coming up here for your holiday shopping.
One-stop shopping for the dudes and the beer lovers. Of the Central
Absolutely.
Coast.
And you talk about some of that barrel work stuff they're doing down in the Solvang area down there. And I had something yesterday that had raspberries in it, and it was one of these sour type beers. Dude, it tasted like a Sour Patch Kid if you took all the sugar away from the Sour Patch Kid and it was just the sour and the raspberry. Dude, it was awesome. It was really good.
That's definitely one of his. That's a great beer of his. He essentially takes raspberries and puts them in the barrel with his. It's called his Bretta Rosé with his Brett beer, and essentially steeps the raspberries in the barrel itself. Extracts a lot of that raspberry flavor. That sugar gets turned and acidic. And
listen to this guy. He sounds like a brewer over here.
Yeah, have you been going to brewery school here?
Exactly.
I love it. All right, Ollie. Good luck this week, buddy.
All right, gentlemen. I'll talk to you guys. Oh, actually, I will be on vacation these next 2 weeks.
Oh, we will too.
So
okay.
We'll figure. We'll do it through email, and we'll have the picks and all that.
Sounds perfect.
It'll
All
be on
right,
the up and
guys.
up.
I'm sure it will.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you.
You'll come
And Merry
back.
Christmas to you guys.
You'll come back from your vacation, and you'll be like, "Wait a minute! How do I trail by 3 games?"
I was just happy I got my picks this morning.
Go Bengals! Go Bengals!
Yeah, go Bengals.
Get him a Bengals jersey, would you?
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. There he goes, Ollie from Firestone Walker, the official sponsor of the Red Zone Challenge, where we're giving away a trip to Las Vegas. All you have to do is beat everybody else in the 805 in picks. That means you got to pick more games right than anyone else. You'll go to Vegas, MGM Grand, 2 nights, Jabberwockies, up front, backstage, $500 cash. We'll fly you there out of Santa Maria on a Legionnaire. Want to register? Haven't done it yet? Go to KZOZ.com.